R2 has finally come home to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. As always, it's me, the Smithy D. I am well excited to be bringing you this exclusive video. I've had some early access to R2D2 as part of the EA Game Changers program. A big, massive thank you to EA Jesse for making this possible. This is my first early access video ever, guys, and I'm going to make sure this is one to remember. In this video, we're going to be going right in depth about R2D2 and answer all them burning questions that you may have. The one big question on everybody's mind is R2D2 good enough to change the mole meta? I guess you're going to have to stick around and find out because I will be covering that in this video. At max gear, R2D2 is one of the fastest characters within this game with 157 speed. At 7-star max gear, his health sits at 23,999. So that's quite a really good amount of speed and health. And if that wasn't enough, he has 22,170 protection. If I'm not mistaken, R2D2 has the highest tenacity in this game, sitting at 46%, and he also comes with a 33% potency. Stats wise, I think they are spot on. He is fast, he has a good amount of health and protection, and he has some extremely high tenacity. This really does give us the freedom to mod R2D2 in many different ways, and I think the devs over at CG have done a really good job on his stats. R2D2's basic attack is called Electroshock Prod. At Omega level 8, it deals physical damage to the target enemy with an 80% chance to stun for 1 turn. This attack deals 30% more damage to burning targets. Surprisingly, his basic attack can hit quite hard, depending on how you mod him of course, and if the burn negative effect is applied to that enemy. He will use Electroshock Prod on counter and assist attacks, and I have found this attack best paired with General Kenobi, First Order, or Wedge and Biggs. General Kenobi can apply the Retribution positive effect to R2D2, which will mean he can then counter-attack. General Kenobi can also use Lead the Charge special ability, calling all buffed allies to assist. His first special ability is called Smokescreen. This has a 4-turn cooldown. Omega'd at level 8, target ally gains foresight and advantage for 2 turns, and all other allies gain stealth for 2 turns. R2D2 then gains 40% turn meter. This is a special ability that can really work in any team. I found it best paired with a counter-attacking tank like some fact Base 5s or First Order Stormtrooper. Under the AI control, R2D2 will open with this special ability. His second special ability is called Improvise, and this has a 4-turn cooldown. At Omega level 8, this deals special damage to all enemies and inflict burning for 3 turns. This attack cannot be evaded. This special ability is your anti-evasion attack. This ability can inflict that brand new negative effect, Burn. So what is Burn? Let's go into the details of what Burn does. Burn is a negative effect that deals damage over time and reduces evasion by minus 500,000%. So in a nutshell, when evasion teams have this effect applied to them, they will dodge no more. This effect can be cleansed and it will not persist through death. This also damages 15% of the enemy's max health per enemy turn and damages 0.3% to raid boss's max health per raid boss turn. This negative effect will not lock like damage over time under a Zeta Darth Vader. After playing around with this ability, the biggest use I have found was versus them Zeta mole teams, and it really does help change the tide of the battle. This ability is also the missing link for the resistance under a Zeta Finn. R2D2 is the first resistance character that can use an area of effect attack. I have a great video on this coming tomorrow. R2D2's first unique is called Combat Analysis. He has 2 Zeta uniques, and in my opinion, this would be the one where I'd start by putting the Zetas on him first. Then if you did want to Zeta the second unique, then do that after you've done this one. Zeta'd at level 8, while R2D2 is active, all allies gain 10% critical chance and 10% accuracy. Whenever a light side ally scores a critical hit, dispel all debuffs on them. So what you have here is a unique that will only be active while R2D2 is present within the battle. If R2D2 is defeated, then this unique will no longer be shared. He will be provided everybody within your team with an additional 10% accuracy and critical chance. If you did want to go that step further and put 20 Zetas and 13 Omegas, you will be turning your R2 into a team cleanser. The cleanse is for light side characters only, and they need to score a critical hit to cleanse all negative effects that are applied to themselves. This Zeta unique works best with Rex, Sharuk, Baze and General Kenobi, but can really work in any light side team and bring a cleanser that is not affected by Dave's ability blocks or ability cooldown reductions. The weaknesses to this cleanse unique will be if the enemy has crit immunity or if your light side character is stunned. Depending how you plan to run your R2, but if you were going to run your R2 with some light side characters, then I feel this Zeta unique is a must, or at very least in your top 3 Zetas to do. R2's second unique is called Number Crunch. Zetaed at level 8 at the start of the battle, R2D2 gains 10% max protection for each droid ally, 10% offense for each Galactic Republic ally, 10% max health for each Rebel ally, and 10% potency for each Resistance ally. At the start of the battle and when R2D2 revives, other droid, Galactic Republic, Rebel and Resistant allies gain 10% of R2D2's max protection, offense, max health and potency until R2D2 is defeated. So what you have here is a unique that is faction based. R2D2 on his own will gain 10% max for each stat mentioned, as he has all 4 of these faction tags. For an example, if you ran R2D2 with 4 other Rebel allies, R2D2 will be gaining 50% max health. Then if you Zetaed this unique, the Rebel allies would receive 10% of R2's max health, protection, offense and potency. If you ran K2SO with R2D2, R2 will be receiving 10% max protection and 10% max health, as K2SO is both droid and Rebel. I think in all honesty you should only be looking to Zeta this unique if you are planning on running a full faction team. I would always advise to Zeta his other unique first before doing this one. There are really more ways than one to mod your R2D2, dependent on who you put around R2 could determine how you're going to mod him. R2D2 however has low critical chance, 24.71% to be exact. If you do Zeta his first unique, I would highly advise to put a critical chance triangle and as much critical chance secondaries as possible. Speed is important as always, and you need to find that balance between speed and critical chance. R2 already has high speed, so I decided to go with some speed mods. Potency is very important for this character, as you want to be landing the stun on his basic and land the burning negative effect, so I decided to go with the potency cross. If you don't decide to Zeta your R2, then you could always add the protection triangle to beef him up that little bit more. If you do fully Zeta both of R2's uniques and decided to run him under a Zeta Finn, you really want to stack him with as much potency as possible, as Resistance allies will receive 10% of his stats. The more potency R2D2 has, the more potency the Resistance are going to be receiving from that 10%. So we've come to that time where we're going to be looking at the good, the bad and the ugly. So we're going to be starting off with the good as always. He is a free to play character exclusively from his own event. He has very good stats. We're talking speed, protection, health, potency and tenacity. They are normally the base stats for a good character. He has some good damage on his basic. Depending how you mod him, you could definitely get some more out of his basic if you did want to try and turn him into a little attacker. He has 4 faction tags. We're talking Droid, Galactic Republic, Rebel and Resistance. He is an anti-evasion character, and there is not many of these running around, and we may not see any of these for a long while, so you definitely want to be picking up this character. He is a support and utility character and a cleanser. And if that wasn't enough, he is also a very universal character and can really go into any team. So we've gone over the good, now let's have a look at the bad. As good as it is to have 4 faction tags, it is also a bad thing. This means that there is more characters that can directly affect R2. R2D2 has low critical chance, and to bump that up, you're going to need to really put a critical chance triangle on him. He requires some high gear to get him to max gear. We're talking 250 Cabantes and 200 stun guns to fully max him. However, to get him to gear 11, you will only need 150 Cabantes and 100 stun guns. What I will do is leave the direct link to his gear requirements in the description below. So we've gone over the good, we've gone over the bad, now let's have a look at the ugly. There is nothing that I do find ugly about this character. Let me know in the comments below if you think of something that you do think is ugly and needs to be put onto R2's ugly section. R2D2 is a great character and a must for anybody having issues against evasion teams. He can be used between 5 to 7 star, and I would highly advise to get him while you can. The event is extremely rare and there is no telling when it could return. Defensively, he works best with a Rex leadership, General Kenobi, Sharut and Baze. But this is really only if you've got a lot of Maul teams attacking you. On the attack, he's well suited for a Rebel and Resistance team. I haven't been able to try him in the AAT, but I cannot see where he will bring more to the table. He is a specialist character and mainly used versus teams that rely on negative effects and evasion. Beyond this, he may struggle on the defense in the arena. He isn't a Kylo Ren or a Darth Nihilus, but he is your go-to character when facing the Zeta Maul teams. He will need a strong team around him to defeat those evasion teams, but he will bring a lot of support. After a lot of thinking, I've decided to grade R2 a B, as outside an evasion meta, he may lose his spot within your team. He is a great character and has a great kit. The devs have really done a good job on this one. He's definitely worthy of replacing your collection and worth the gear and Zeta. So what is your thoughts on R2D2? Let me know in the comments below. If you have enjoyed this video, then please make sure that you do hit that like button because it does help the channel grow. I've got a few more R2 videos coming out, so make sure that you are subscribing and checking back tomorrow for more R2D2 content. If you are wanting to know more on how to mod your characters, then make sure that you are checking out gaming-fans.com. They have a library of how-to mods. A big thank you to all you guys for all your support and getting me this far. And I really do hope I've made the most out of this early access because it is only for a limited time, and I hope you have enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching today. I'm the Smithy D. May the Force be with you always.